Hey guys, let's have a podversation about Kanye West and all the drama that's going on right now with his presidential campaign, so he calls it, and this most recent campaign rally that I see honestly as a very rich man's cry for help, and he is not getting the help that he needs. Now, he just recently had a campaign rally in actually where I am from, Charleston, South Carolina. I didn't even know he was here. That just shows you how much I pay attention to the news. I don't. And even if I knew he was going to be here, I didn't plan on going. I definitely would not have been there, especially with everything that's going on right now. South Carolina is one of the hot spots for COVID-19 numbers rising, and it really is not a joke. It is real. I have clients who have had it. I have a client who's a nurse who says that it is definitely real, and people down here, unfortunately, a lot of them, not everyone, a lot of them are not taking it seriously. They're not social distancing. They're not wearing their masks, and they want to live life as if things never even happened. But that's another subject for another time. But he just recently had his first campaign rally, and it left a lot of people scratching their head and asking questions, because he said a lot of things that were so crazy to a lot of people, so off the wall, like, what? Did he really just say that? That a lot of people are coming for him. And he made statements such as, he made a statement about Harriet Tubman, saying that she never actually freed the slaves and she just had them work for other white people. And it was like, people were really stunned by comments, as they should be, stunned by these comments. I'm going to play some clips from the rally, some of the things that he said, which, to be honest, a lot of it wasn't that great audibly because the sound was just horrible. So it almost came across like an impromptu campaign rally that was really not well thought out and well planned. But you can listen to some of the comments that he made here.
She had the pills in her hand. Do people know these pills where you take the pills, and if you take it, it's a wrap. The baby's gone. And I called my wife, and she said, we're going to have this baby. I said, we're going to have this child. I know people that are 50 years old that didn't have the children, that didn't have that child, that have never got to experience the level of joy that I experienced in having a child. But even if my wife were to divorce me after this speech, she brought North into the world even when I didn't want to. She stood up and she protected that child. My mom saved my life. My dad wanted to abort me. My mom saved my life. There would have been no Kanye West because my dad was too busy. Hey.
Well, you heard some of the things that he said, and The crazy thing about it is that he is having this campaign rally while he actually is only on the ballot in one state, and that is Oklahoma. And it's because he paid a $35,000 fee to be added in instead of getting the required signatures on a petition to be added to the ballot there, which would have been over 35,000 signatures. And he obviously didn't have enough time to do that. So he just paid the fee because, hey, he's a billionaire, right? So he's got the money. But the thing that's really sad about this situation to me, and I say sad because I just have compassion for anybody that I see that's troubled, whether I care for them or not. And I'm not a Kanye West fan at all. But this so-called presidential campaign rally, most people who are running for president, if they have a spouse, that spouse is going to be there. Kim Kardashian is nowhere in sight. I don't follow her on social media, but I'm quite sure she was posting on social media, not about his presidential rally or drumming up support for him in this effort to supposedly become the next president of the United States, but just for her own brand, for her own fun, for her own things that she does on the regular anyway, whether it's about her products or the show or just to be seen and get the likes, because that is what her and her family do all the time. They are social media stars. They have millions upon millions upon millions of followers, and for whatever reason, people flock to them. But she doesn't seem to be flocking to the help of what her husband is crying out for, because this to me seems like a huge rich man's cry for help. And some of you may say, well, he's got the money, so he can just go and get help on his own. But unfortunately, in this country, mental illnesses are not seen the same as physical illnesses and physical ailments, physical diseases. People really have compassion for people that get diagnosed with cancer. They have compassion if somebody has to have a surgical procedure, if they have to go on dialysis because they need a kidney or they need an organ replacement, and they're placed on a list to get an organ replaced. If they have to have surgery on their heart, if they have heart disease, cardiac arrest, all of these different things people have compassion for. But when it comes to mental illness, it's not seen the same way because it's not understood by a lot of people. But also, there's so many stigmas on mental illness when it comes to people calling people names like crazy, insane. As you can remember what former President Barack Obama called Kanye West years ago, he called him a jackass. And yeah, he may have done a boneheaded thing or a jackass move when he went and snatched the microphone out of Taylor Swift's hand on the stage at the MTV Video Music Awards years ago. But even back then, I saw that as something, and I'm sorry guys if it sounds like I'm laughing, but I'm just picturing it in my mind when it happened. And it was like a really shocking thing that a lot of people were like, I really can't believe he did that. But even back then, that was a cry for help. It was fueled by alcohol. And that is something that a lot of people who are dealing with mental illnesses try to cope with, all the different things that they are seeing, the different words and sounds and things that they are hearing. They try to cope with it, not really treat it. They try to cope with it by using alcohol. Now, he says he hasn't used alcohol in many years, and now he's into Jesus and the Word of God and all of these different things. But I'm going to go there too and just talk about this. I don't know that you can really control a man that has a lot of money, that does not want to take medication or try to get treatment for their diagnosed conditions. And he said that he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but he's refused to take the treatments and the medications to help him to deal with it. So he's going to go through them because he has so much access and he has a lot of money. He has the current president right now of the United States on speed dial. it's not going to be treated the same way as somebody else who may just be out on the streets, homeless, a veteran of one of the former wars that were fought for the United States, that somebody is walking past on the street and they're just spouting off different things, and then people just see this person as crazy. But no, they have a mental illness. They have a mental disease, a disease of the brain, where they're not functioning as an adult who does not have mental illnesses does. And so when you have a spouse like Kim Kardashian, who is so self-absorbed, I don't care what she says about loving her husband and he's the greatest father and all of the different social media posts that she does, it is about the way things are for her finances and the way things are for her image. There are already talks and rumors about possible divorce between the two, because Kim Kardashian is just kind of like at her wit's end and just tired of all of it. But that just goes to show you how a lot of people don't really take the marriage vows seriously in sickness and in health, for better or for worse, for richer or poorer, till death do us part. Marriage isn't for everybody. So to see that he is out here doing a campaign rally, so-called campaign rally, where, again, like I said, it's really, to me, a cry for help, and she is not there with him, that's very telling. It's so sad. And then last year, he was doing the tours to these different churches and mega churches, where he was doing his Sunday services, that he calls them. And you had big time names like Pastor Jamal Bryant and Pastor Joel Osteen, who had big crowds drawn to their churches because Kanye West was going to be speaking. And I've always had an issue with that, because I don't have a problem with somebody, whether they are known or unknown, that decides to become a believer in the gospel of Jesus Christ. I honestly think it's a great thing, because I am a believer. I've been for many years. But just because you become a believer does not make you wise, and it doesn't make you an authority to be able to stand on a stage and teach others. They gave this man a platform because of who he is and what he has. If he was not Kanye West and he was Kevin Winters, a just plain old everyday guy who decided to become a believer and start going to someone's church, they would have not given this person a platform to speak from. They used him for profit. They used him for attention. They used him for followers. They used him. And the man needs help. I never watched any of his Sunday services. I've seen clips of different things, but I've seen some things and heard some things that he has said that just let me know that this man really has some mental issues that he needs to have treated. And I don't know if I can recall any of those Sunday services where Kim Kardashian was there as his first lady. And for those of you who watch this who don't know what a first lady means, a first lady is usually the term or phrase that they give for the wife of a pastor, the wife of a church leader. No, he's not a pastor, but he's kind of given himself this label when he created this choir, and they've been touring in different places and doing these performances. You know, he did this album called Jesus is King, and I believe he has another album that's coming out at the end of July, which may be why another reason I should say why he's doing this so-called presidential bid and doing this campaign rally, it may not even be a real thing with him running for president. It could just be a PR and marketing tool to promote his new album that's upcoming. But even if it is, it's still not right. He still has to get treatment, and I don't see that help coming from his wife. Of course, we don't know everything that goes on behind closed doors. Of course we don't. But they show enough of their lives where you would think that this should be something that's so serious that it should not be confidential. They should put it out there. I'm not saying they have to take the cameras with him in the hospitals or in the doctor's offices or mental institutions or wherever he may be taken for us to see, but the fact that they would let people know all of the other things that are going on, some of the things that are just so irrelevant that we really don't care about. I don't know how long they talked about this girl, Jordan Woods, cheating with Khloe Kardashian's baby's daddy. Like, who cares? But that was something that was so drawn out, talked about over and over and over again. These are the things that they should really be putting out there if they really want to help people. But it just goes to show that they really don't care. It's all about image. It's all about the money. It's all about the things that make them look good. And mental illness is not sexy. Mental illness is not beautiful. Mental illness is not something that's good for their brand. So it's not something that they really care to display. And these are the things that they need to display. But I want to ask, where are the pastors that gave him a platform? Where are the pastors that used him for financial gain, that allowed him to speak on their stages, that allowed them to speak in their pulpits, that allowed them to have a place in their mega churches so that they could draw more people to come, and they give offerings and they give support and possibly join and continue to come and draw in more money? Listen, churches are big business. They are big business. I don't subscribe to that lifestyle, even though I am a believer in the gospel of Jesus Christ. I don't subscribe to that building lifestyle, because it is a lot of waste. It is a lot of greed. It is a lot of self-centeredness. It is a lot about the people and less about the purpose, about the mission that Jesus was sent for. And Kanye West has a lot that he needs to get treated for. His mind is not all there. He really needs to be healed mentally. And God has created great institutions to help people who need treatment. Even though I am a believer and I do believe in the supernatural power of healing, I do believe that treatment has its place and he needs to be treated. And this is a huge cry for help. Yeah, he may have been deemed a billionaire, but the man needs help. And I do believe that a lot of the people who are very savvy when it comes to business and it comes to creating wealth, they do have some mental instabilities, even though they may not be a full-on bipolar or, one of those big labeled diagnoses, but they might have just a few things missing when it comes to the mental acuity. And they have the access, they have the money, and they should be getting the treatment. But unfortunately, Kanye West is all over the place, and it is a mental issue. These are just my thoughts. Of course, it's just my opinion. I'm not somebody who has been licensed in any type of psychiatry or psychosis or anything like that. So these are just my opinions based on what I see, and also just based on my experiences of dealing with somebody who has mental illness. And it's not an easy thing to deal with. So I am not here to bash his wife, but I am also here to say that she has been given so much more than many other wives and significant others who are dealing with spouses who have mental illnesses, that she can do so much more. And the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required, much is expected. And we just don't really see that right now. But this is today. Things could change tomorrow, so we'll see. But I want to know what you guys think about this. What do you think about Kanye West? Do you feel that this is a huge cry for help and he really needs some mental assistance medically when it comes to his condition? Or do you feel that, hey, he's not, mentally unstable? I don't see anything wrong with what's going on right now. And do you feel that Kim may just be ready to check out of this relationship? Or maybe she just feels like she doesn't really know what to do with this going on because she's just been so self-absorbed with her own life and things being perfect that she doesn't really know what to do with an imperfect situation. And what do you guys think about the pastors who used him for their platforms, but you don't really see them speaking out to help him in this cry for help that he has going on right now? So thanks for joining me for this Podversation, guys. This is the Minister of Beauty, here to share the Bible. That's business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box, and for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. You can hit that notifications bell so you know whenever I do upload a new video. And again, until the next time, have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.